Happy Tuesday. I wanted to come on here and remind you guys that you are more than your physical body. You are more than physical expectation. In fact, there are 7 bodies in your one body, and I'm not speaking demonic possession. What I mean is that there are 7 planes to your one physical body. And I think at times we have to remember this because we can get caught up in the world. We can get caught up in the flesh and be in autopilot, almost robotic, and thinking as if and as though all there is to us is what we see. But I digress. There is more to you than what you see. As I'm reminding you today, is because I want you to breathe into all planes or all aspects, all of your bodies. Okay, so the way that we do that, like I said, is by breathing life into those bodies. So let's start. Let's do a breath exercise, okay? Let's do a breath exercise. If you guys are not familiar with breath work, this is what I do. So again, too, if you are new here, okay, let's start there. If you are new here, my name is Latara, and I am a lifestyle coach. I help people tap into their innermost being, okay? I help people tap into their highest self and also learn to acknowledge the different planes, say the different spiritual bodies, and awaken them so they may also awaken purpose. It might sound complex, but it's really not, okay? Like I said, I'm a lifestyle coach, so I teach you life skills to where you're able to have both work-life balance and also emotional intelligence, maturity, and awareness, which brings about purpose. I teach people how to tap into their highest self. I mean, that's the simplest way to say it. And we do this by way of acknowledging our spiritual body. We have to first acknowledge the lower self before we can acknowledge that there is even a higher self. And your highest self is where your purpose resides. So now that you know who I am, now that you know what I do, okay, you can also book one-on-one coaching sessions with me. You can purchase a program or a package as well, so your sessions are paid up for a certain time period, and we can go through the actual process because one session is not enough. Just let you know up front, okay? But let's get into this breath work because this is how we breathe life, Yahweh, how we breathe life into the different aspects of our body. And so one of my favorite breathwork practices is box breathing. It's quite honestly one of the simplest ways to teach yourself how to breathe from your diaphragm rather than chest breathing. And breath in itself is so important, right? Because we know that it gives us life. But in regards to our walk here on earth, the breath itself can also regulate our nervous system. In regulating our nervous system, we learn how to be present. We learn how to be here now and ground into the present moment. And in doing so, we can receive all that Yahweh has for us in this present moment because we know that the present is a gift. So now let's get into the box breath. Okay, let's get into the technique. And also, this is something that I practice on my guided breath meditation and monthly mantra. So on my Pretty Lifted Trippy podcast, every month there is a guided breath meditation and mantra. So be prepared for May's coming up May 1st. And also go back and listen to the priors. All of these, the link is in my bio. Also, before we get into the method, there is a meditation practice in my book. So my ground up self-love workbook, which you guys can see is very used, okay? I take you through the practice of meditation. And so I'll just show you quickly here, okay, how we go into meditation. Okay, so I take you through a guided meditation in my book. So if you want to practice this more often on your own, aside from the Pretty Lifted Trippy monthly meditation, you also have the guide within my book. So now let's get to it. So take this moment. What we're going to do is make sure that we're seated properly, all right, meaning which that our spine is erect, okay? We are seated upward, shoulders back, all right? And I want to make sure that we're relaxing. So relax. If you notice that your shoulders are here scrunched up, I want us to relax, okay? Release the tension in your shoulders. And there should be a significant distance between your ears and your shoulders, okay? And also I want us to release the tongue from the crown or the roof of our mouth, because that is also indication that you are holding on to tension. So of course, tension is stored in our body. And as I mentioned, like I said, when you're holding your tongue to the crown of your mouth, that is a sign that you are holding tension in the body. When your shoulders, you find that your shoulders are always hunched up, that is a sign that you are holding tension in the body. So I want us to be erect in our spine, crown centered to the top, right? So this is how we ground. And as I mentioned, this is sitting upward. So let's go for it. This is called box breathing. It's a 4-count inhale, a 4-count hold, and a 4-count exhale, okay? So our first breath, before we even get into that, it's going to be a preparatory breath. And we're just going to sigh out all the breath that is in our belly. So, and you kind of have a rumbling in the back of your throat like a lion, okay? This is a cleansing breath. So take this time right now, pause the video, and do that. Okay, you're back. Now we're going for the box breath. So our first breath is an inhale. This means that the belly expands. We are building and breathing from our diaphragm. So your belly should expand to a 4-count. So breathe in through your nose. Belly expands 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hold it there for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale, sigh it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice that you are breathing in through your nose and you are sighing out. You are exhaling through your mouth, okay? And what we're going to do is continue that same pattern for us to really get more of a breathing routine, to turn this into actual breath work. I would say start your day or start this practice with setting a timer for 5 minutes. And in the 5 minutes, you continue that same pattern. So again, let's try that one more time. Sit upright, shoulders back, tongue release from the crown of your mouth. And we're going to breathe in through our nose. But let's first take that preparatory cleansing breath. Sigh out all the breath in your belly. That means your navel should be to spine. And this is a clean belly. It's an empty belly. Now, let's go for that inhale. You're going to breathe in through your nose. You should notice constriction here in your throat, okay? At the top, when you get to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I want you to hold that. The constriction in the back of your throat is how we are holding that breath. We should count to 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. Sigh it out of the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll continue that same pattern until it becomes an oceanic pattern, an oceanic rhythm. And I said, start with 5 minutes. If you can do this even for a minute, take a minute and do it. It doesn't even have to go to 5. We'll extend the time as we go. But I hope this helps.